Hey everybody. I hope you're doing well on this Wednesday. I wanted to come on today because there are some really intense energies that are present right now, and I think it's important that we talk about them because I'm noticing the triggers that are coming up for my clients and myself, and they're pretty intense. So right now we have Mercury retrograde, and we have a whole bunch of other planets that have been in retrograde for a pretty long time. And so the energy is kind of like we're in a slingshot that's been pulled all the way back. And if you think about that analogy or that metaphor, there's a lot of tension in that slingshot, right? And so there's all of this desire to move forward and yet feeling really stagnant and stuck. And when that's present in the field, it always creates this feeling of resistance within the body and conflict in the external environment with the people in our lives. And so, one of the themes this month is this idea of balance and equilibrium. And I'm seeing that show up in the way that we're interacting with those that we love in relationship, right? So, these could be friends, they could be partners, they could be business partners, they could be work colleagues, all kinds of different relationships. We're really working on balance and equilibrium in relationship. But the important thing to realize is that we can't have balance and equilibrium in relationship unless we have balance and equilibrium inside. And so, one of the easiest ways to deal with some of these powerless kind of feelings that are coming up or these conflicts that are arising in our relationships is to go back inside and deal with the response that we're having to that external stimulus. One of the other ways that this is showing up is our relationship to the outside world. Excuse me, our relationship to the outside world, anywhere where we feel powerless in relationship to the government or the medical system or decisions around whether or not we would like to get injected with things, right? There's a lot of situations where we're being made to feel really powerless. And so keep in mind when I say relationships, it's not just personal relationships. It could be relationships to systems and decisions that systems are making, okay? So when we're in a triggered place, we often want to immediately take that energy that feels really uncomfortable inside of our bodies and project it outwards. And sometimes that looks like yelling at somebody or getting angry with somebody or telling them that they're wrong and making ourselves feel right. But what we're working on as a collective this month is that pause. Being able to come back inward when a trigger happens and really examine what has gotten triggered. 9 times out of 10, we might be afraid, or we might be sad, or we might be both. And if we can truly reconcile those feelings and completely feel them and just sit with them in that place of powerlessness, right? In that place of disappointment, in that place of fear, in that place of anger. And we can just sit with them for a moment, right? This doesn't have to go on for days, just for a moment, and actually fully, inherently feel them. We have an opportunity to respond differently, to show up in compassion to this person who maybe is in conflict with you that is very triggered themselves. And so part of being in this place of balance and equilibrium, sorry, I'm clearing something as I'm speaking about this in my throat chakra. Part of being in this place of balance and equilibrium is knowing that we can speak our truth through neutrality and it's going to be received, and being okay if that person receives that truth and either judges us for it, doesn't understand it, or leaves us. Right? So I'm clearing my throat chakra because that is where we are working this month. One of the biggest themes on the other side of this balance and equilibrium that we're working with this week is living your truth. Living your truth means that you own what you feel when you feel it, and you own your decisions, you own your choices, and you don't do so in a way where you're afraid of what the other person might think. But you also don't push your truth or your feelings onto other people and project it onto them and make it their truth unless that's what they want. And so all of this is about us staying inward and being in a neutral place before we communicate with the world around us. Mercury retrograde is all about communication. This one is all about relationships and how we communicate in relationship, how we find balance in our communication in relationship, both inward and outward. So pay extra attention to that right now. Take longer pauses before you respond. Take time away. Take some moments to go neutral. One of my favorite tools for going neutral is to take some deep breaths and draw in the color purple, which happens to be a neutral color when we're working with this energy, neutral purple energy. When we bring it in, we breathe it in and we see it flowing through our whole body. And we spend a few moments focused on that before we go out and respond to the person who's triggered us, before we write that post on Facebook that we're going to regret later, right? So pay close attention right now to your responses to things. And if you're in reaction mode, it's your job to shift that, right? You have to take accountability and responsibility for how you're reacting to these situations that you find yourself in where you feel powerless or you feel disappointed or sad or angry. You're the only person that can do that. Otherwise, you will perpetuate this feeling of being the victim, right? And we're clearing a ton of victim energy right now and a ton of oppressor energy again. We go through this every couple of months and we're in it again right now. So pay special attention to how you're communicating with those around you. And if you need a timeout, take a timeout. So that's my quick little information about what's happening right now. Comment and let me know how this lands for you if you're seeing this. We should be out of these energies and more into a place where we feel solid in our truth starting middle of next week or so. And if you're really feeling like you need some help with balance and you're concerned about where we're going in the next quarter of the back half of the year here, I have an event on Sunday. It's a 1010 energy portal event and channeling that I'll be doing, and we'll have some sound healing. It's both in person and Zoom event. And then on the 13th, I also have a healing circle where we're going to be focused on living our truth without fear of how other people are going to judge it, right? Being able to hold that vibration because that's what we need so that we can create the new earth. All right. So just a few things coming up. I'll put those in the comments as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.